This is Buick's latest EV, and Buick sales in China, where most Buicks are sold these days, have been horrendous. Buick is trying to fight back. General Motors is trying to fight back with EVs like this, which, to be fair, if this was sold in the United States or Australia or Europe and it was sold at these prices, I think it would be the best-selling car in the world. I really do. I really think if General Motors wanted to sell this at this price, outside of China, it'd be the best-selling car in the world, which sounds crazy, right? But when you look at the price and the features and what you're getting for the money, I mean, I'd be surprised if you disagreed with me. But let me know in the comments if you do. First of all, here are the details on this new EV that Buick hopes will save its future in China. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. First of all, this has 373 miles of range, but before I get to that, guys, I want to say a big thank you to all of our YouTube members. You guys, you're really helping support the channel. I so much appreciate it, especially right now with the YouTube algorithm, which has been totally, don't know what's happened to it, but I don't know about you guys. My YouTube feed, my personal feed, I'm getting videos that have been there that I've already watched from 2 weeks ago, just popping up over and over and over. And I can't find stuff from all the people I've subscribed to. They've all disappeared. So I'm finding that people are having trouble finding the videos for this channel. So make sure you actually just click on the channel. You might even have to look for the Electric Viking in order to find our videos. So this new Buick, will it save Buick in China? I don't think it will, because Buick sales in China were about 650,000 only 4 or 5 years ago. They've now fallen to about 10% of that number this year. That's the numbers we're looking at. They're likely to sell probably around 60,000 cars, if that, maybe only 50,000 for the whole year. So sales have completely crashed. You can see why Buick are really hoping this vehicle will help them. This was supposed to be the Buick that was going to launch in 2024, but the model was delayed last summer, and GM CEO Mary Barra said the move was related to slower than expected electric vehicle adoption, which is completely false considering the fact that last year, nearly 50% of all cars sold in China were electric. The company had planned on importing the Electric E5 from China before the United States slapped a 100% tariff on Chinese EVs. So General Motors were going to actually make this car in China, which they are, and then ship them for sale in the United States. So you can blame both the Biden administration and the Trump administration for not allowing you to get this. This probably would have been the cheapest EV on sale in America. I mean, this would have been probably cheaper than probably around the price of a Chevy Equinox, right? And as a result, you can't buy them as a result of these tariffs. Anyhow, this vehicle has been upgraded. I think it's a good-looking car. In fact, I think it's a really good-looking car. It certainly looks a bit different to a lot of generic-looking EVs. Buick say they have enhanced it with 47 enhancements across design, performance, intelligent technology, and everyday convenience. Size, it's a bit bigger than a Tesla Model Y. It's 4,892 millimeters long, so 4.9 meters long, 192.6 inches, that is, 1,905 millimeters wide, which is 75 inches, and 1,684 millimeters tall, that's 66.3 inches. Quite a long wheelbase as well, which means it should have quite a lot of space inside. 2,954 millimeter wheelbase, that's 116.3 inches. So far, so good. Bit bigger than a Tesla Model Y. What is the price? That's the key thing here, which the price is ridiculous. It's much cheaper than a Tesla. I'll get to that in a second though. Range is in excess of 373 miles, 600 kilometers. That's CLTC range. EPA range would probably be about 300 miles, right? So it's not lacking on range. It's got a pretty big battery pack. It's an 80 kilowatt hour NMC battery. And apparently it's actually got a bit more range than what was first thought. So the range is not in fact 373 miles. It's 385 miles now, which is 620 kilometers. So you're probably looking in the real world about 520 kilometers. Pretty similar range to something like a Tesla Model Y, long range all-wheel drive. But it's much cheaper, like I said. Customers can get either a 68 kilowatt hour battery or a 65 kilowatt hour battery and front or all-wheel drive. So there's actually 3 different battery pack options. There's an 80 kilowatt hour battery, a 68 and a 65. But, right, The quickest version, it's not that quick, to be honest. It does 0 to 100 in 6.4 seconds. That's 0 to 62 miles an hour, 6.4 seconds. But to be honest, it's not a performance car, right? It's a family car. Pricing, it's $23,700. $23,700 US dollars, meaning it's about $10,000 US dollars cheaper than a Tesla Model Y. And it's a bit bigger. As you can see, it's a more traditional shaped SUV than a Model Y too. So the interior space should be pretty good in terms of because it's more of a square shape, you're going to get more interior space. I think this car is unbelievably good value for money. Now, $23,000 is the starting price. You want to get the long range version with that bigger 80 kilowatt hour battery pack. It's around $25,000, $26,000 US dollars. As I was saying before, if General Motors was able to sell this car around the world, different countries, I mean, I reckon in Australia, they'd sell them really well. Let's say they sold them for $30,000 US dollars, right? That model with the 80 kilowatt hour battery, that would kill it. I mean, honestly, that's way cheaper than a Model Y. And it's, like I said, it's a bit bigger. So this is a legit family car. And there's no negative stigma around it as well right now. Anyway, I don't understand why General Motors isn't trying to do that, isn't trying to sell these cars in other countries around the world. Obviously, they can't in the United States now anymore, unfortunately. But there's many other countries that they could. I mean, there's Mexico, there's Brazil. What are your thoughts? Would you consider buying one of these at that kind of price, at say $30,000 US dollars if you're an American or even Australian? You know, if you're looking at, say, that's an exchange rate of less than 50,000 Australian dollars. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments. Bye-bye. Is this the beginning of the end for Nissan? Well, it certainly appears so. Nissan said numerous times they were going to fire 9,000 people. I said that was probably understated. And it was. They're now firing 20,000. That's more than 15% of their entire global workforce. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking, and we're seeing Nissan crumble in front of our eyes. Nissan plans to cut another 10,000 jobs worldwide. Japanese media reported on Monday, bringing total cuts, including previously announced layoffs, to 20,000. Just over 15% of its entire global workforce. Guys, this is a real point where we're seeing the Japanese automotive industry crumble. And I think it's unfortunate, but it had to happen. The struggling Japanese automaker warned last month it would book a record net loss of between $5.1 and $5.5 billion in the financial year that ended in March due to impairment charges. Yeah, there's a lot more going on than just impairment charges, though, that's for sure.